ሶ እሱን ነገር ሰልፍ ኢንትሮዳክሽን ሜቢ ዲፓርትመንታችሁንም ትነግሩኛላችሁ። ከዛን ኢለርኒንግ ኤክስፒሪየንሳችሁ ምን እንደሚመስል ከዚህም በፊት ኢለርኒንግ ኤክስፒሪየንስ ካላችሁ ወይም ደግሞ ኦንላይን ትሬኒንግ ወስዳችሁ ወይም ትሬኒንግ ሰጣችሁ ካለ ያላችሁን ኤክስፒሪየንስ ሼር ታደርጉናላችሁ። ከዛን ሜቢ ፕሬዘንቴሽን ይኖረኛል ከዚህም በፊት እንደነገርኳችሁ ፕሬዘንቴሽኑ ሞር ኦር ሌስ የሚያጠነጥነው ቤዚክ ኢንፎርሜሽን ስለዚህ ትሬኒንግ አንዳንድ ቤዚክ ኢንፎርሜሽኖች አንዳንድ ቤዚክ በተኖች እና የፈርስት ዊክ ላይ የምናያቸውን ሶስቱ ሞጁሎች ዲስከስ እናደርጋለን። ከዛን ሶስተኛ አጀንዳችን የሚሆነው ኩዌስችን ኤንድ አንሰር ሴክሽን ነው። ያላችሁ ሜቢ ይሄንን ትሬኒንግ ለመጀመር ላይክ አንዳንድ ቻሌንጅ ካጋጠማችሁ ኮንተንት ዋይስ የሚሆን ቴክኒካሊ ያጋጠማችሁን ነገር ካለ እሱን ነገር ሜቢ ልታነሱ ትችላላችሁ። እሱን ነገር አብረን ዲስከስ እናደርጋለን። ሶ ሰልፍ ኢንትሮዳክሽኑ ከራሴ ስጀምር ወርቅነህ እሸቱ እባላለሁ። በኢትዮጵያ ሲቪል ሰርቪስ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ነው ማስተምረው። አካዳሚካሊ ፒኤችዲ ዲግሪ አለኝ። በዚህ ኦንላይን ለርኒንግ ኤንድ ቲቺንግ ኤክስፒሪየንስ ደግሞ ከኦልሞስት ከአመት በላይ በሚሆን ለዛ ያህል የሚሆን ጊዜ ይሄንን ኦንላይን ትሬኒንግ እየሰጠው ነበረ፣ ፋሲሊቴት እያደረግኩ ነበረ። ኮርሶችም ኦንላይን ዲዛይን አድርጌያለሁ፣ ያንንም ዲሊቨር አድርገናል። ኢቨን ከዚህም በፊት ትናንትና አይ ቲንክ አይታችሁት ከሆነ ሃው ቱ ቢልድ ኮርስስ ኢን ኦፕን ኢዲኤክስ ስቱዲዮ የሚል ቪዲዮ ሪከርድ አድርጌ ነበረ። ሶ ኤክስፐሪንሱ አለኝ ማለት ነው ኦንላይን ኮርስ ቢልድ በማድረግ ያንንም ዲዛይን አድርገን ዲሊቨር አድርገናል ኦልሬዲ። ላይክ ኤክስፐሪንስን በተመለከተ ኦፍ ኮርስ ይሄን ማስተር ክላስ ትሬኒንግን ሳልወስድ በፊት ራሱ ስለ ኦንላይን ኮርስ መስጠት ኦንላይን ኮርስ መውሰድ ላይ ኤክስፒሪየንስ ነበረኝ። እንደነገሩ ሜቢ ላይክ ቪዲዮን አይታችሁት ከሆነ የተማርኩት በደቡብ ኮሪያ ነው እና አንዳንድ ኮንተንቶችን ኦንላይን በኮቪድ-19 ጊዜ ኦንላይን የወሰድንባቸው ኮርሶች አሉ። ኢቨን እኔም እንደ መምህር ሆኜ እዛ ያገለገልኩበት እንደ ቲቸር አሲስታንት ፒኤችዲ ተማሪ ሲሆን ቲቸር አሲስታንት ሆኜ ኦንላይን ኮርሶችን ተማሪዎችን ላይክ አስተማሪውን የረዳውበት ሁኔታ እንደ አስተማሪ ሆኜ ሌላውን መምህር እንደረዳውበት ሁኔታ ነበር ያለኝ። ሶ ኤክስፒሪየንሱ አለኝ። ኮርስን ኦንላይን ዲሊቨር ማድረግ ኦንላይን መውሰድ በተመለከተ ቤዚክ የሆነ ኢንፎርሜሽኖች ነበሩኝ። ከዛን ይህንን ማስተር ክላስ ትሬኒንግ ሰዎች ሞር እውቀት እንዲኖረኝ ረዳኝ ማለት ነው። ሶ አሁን ያው ኦልሞስት ኮርስን ኦንላይን ዲዛይን በማድረግ ኤክስፒሪየንሱን ዲቨሎፕ አድርጌያለሁ። ሶ ይሄ ነው እኔን በተመለከተ። እናንተ ደግሞ እስቲ ላይክ እንዳልኳችሁ ስማችሁን ያላችሁበትን ግሩፕ ሜቢ ግሩፕ ኤ ናችሁ፣ ግሩፕ ሲ ናችሁ፣ ኮሆርታችሁ የትኛው ውስጥ ነው የሚመደበው? ላይክ ኦንላይን ለርኒንግ ኤንድ ቲቺንግ ኤክስፒሪየንሳችሁ ምን ይመስላል? እና ይህን የመሰሉ ነገሮችን ዲፓርትመንታችሁ ውስጥ ከምን ዲፓርትመንት ነው የሚለውን ነገር እስቲ ብትነግሩኝ። እዚህ ጋር ሜቢ የሚታያችሁ ከሆነ ሊስት አለኝ። አቴን ኦልሞስት አሁን ኦንላይን የገቡትን ስታፎች ሊስት ከዚህ ይታየኛል። በዛው ልክ ልጥራ። እንደነገርኳችሁ ሜቢ ታይትል ላይክስ ብዙም ገና ፓድሌ ሰልፍ ኢንትሮዳክሽንም አክቹዋሊ አይቼ ነበረ ትናንትና። ብዙዎቻችሁ እዛ ላይ ራሱ ፖስት አድርጋችኋል። ፓድሌ ሰልፍ ኢንትሮዳክሽን ፕሮግረሱ በጣም ደስ የሚል ነው። ነገር ግን በደንብ ስላላየሁት ታይትል አልጠቀምም። ሰው ይቅርታ ይደረግልኝ አድቫንስ። ከዚህ ስጠራ አንደኛ የሚታየኝ አለማየሁ ነው። አለማየሁ
የአባት ስም
አክቹዋሊ ሁለት አለማየሁች ካሉ አይ ዶንት ኖ። እኔ ከዚህ የሚታይ እኔ በጻፍኩት ነው መሰለኝ አለማየሁ ፍሮም አርባ ምንጭ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ነው የሚለው። የአባት ስም አይታወቅም። ያ ሜቢ አንተ ልትሆን ትችላለህ። ሌላ አለማየሁ የለም።
ጥሩሽ፣ አመሰግናለሁ። ያው ትላንትናም ሶሪ ተደዋውለን ነበር።
ትክክል፣ ማታ ላይ ደውለልኝ ነበር። ትክክል ነው።
እሺ፣ አመሰግናለሁ። ስሜ አለማየሁ ኪፋሞ እባላለሁ። ኮርቴ መጀመሪያ ኤፍ ላይ የሚል ነበር። አሁን ሬጅስትሬሽኑ ላይ ኦንላይኑ ላይ ሲ ነው የሚለው። ሲ ነው ማርች 2025 ሲ ነው የሚለው። በዛ ምክንያት ሲ እንደሆነ ነው የምረዳው። ዲፓርትመንት ሜካኒካል ኢንጂነሪንግ ነው እየሰራው ያለሁት። ከዚህ በፊት የኢለርኒንግ ትሬኒንግ አልነበረኝም። ነገር ግን በኮቪድ ወቅት ያው በተለይ ስፔሻሊ ማስተርስ ተማሪዎችን ትምህርት ለማስቀጠል ተብሎ በራሳችን ትግል ሙድልንና ጎግል ሚትን እየተጠቀምን ያው ማቴሪያልን በሙድል እየላክን አንዳንዴ ደግሞ ኦንላይን ለመገናኘት ጎግል ሚት እየተጠቀምን ኦንላይን እያስተማርን ሙከራ አድርገናል። ከዛ በተረፈ ልክ በዚህ መልኩ ፔዳጎጂውን የተለያየ ነገሮችን ተጠቅሞ እንደገና ደግሞ ስታንዳርድ የሆነ ማቴሪያል እንደዛ አድርገን አይደለም ግን አትሊስት በጎግል ሚት እየተገናኘን በዛ መልኩ እያስተማርን እንትን ብለናል። ያለኝ ኤክስፒሪየንስ ነው። አመሰግናለሁ።
ኦኬ እናመሰግናለን። አላዛር
ኦኬ አላዛር ደነቀ እባላለሁ ከፋካልቲ ኦፍ ኮምፒውቲንግ ኤንድ ሶፍትዌር ኢንጂነሪንግ ስታፍ ነኝ። ያው እኔ ብዙ ኦንላይን ኮርሶችን ወስጃለሁ ከኮርሴራ ከዩዳሲቲ እና መሰል የኦንላይን ኮርስ ፕሮቫይደሮች ግን ኮርስ ዴሊቨር የማድረግ እድሉ አልገጠመኝም። ይሄን ይመስላል።
ኦኬ ኮሆርት ሲ ውስጥ ነው ያለው?
አዎ ኮሆርት ሲ ውስጥ ነው ያለው።
ኦልራይት ጥሩ። አይ ቲንክ ሲ ቼፖ ይላል እዚህ
ጨንቻ።
ኦኬ ጨንቻ
እንዴት ናችሁ? ሰላም አደራችሁ? ጨንቻ ጨቦ ይባላለሁኝ። አግሪ ኮሌጅ ስታፍ ነኝ፣ ፒኤችዲ ተማሪ። እንትኑ ውስጥ ቢ ነኝ ያለሁት። ከአክቹአሊ ዶክተር አለማየሁ እንዳለው የሆነ ታይም ላይ ኤምኤስሲ ተማሪዎችን በዚህ በዙም በሞዱልና በቲምስ ኮርሶችን ዴሊቨር ስናደርግ ነበርን። ከሱ በተጨማሪ ደግሞ ሆነ ፒኤችዲ ጆይን አድርጌ ሁለት ኮርሶችን አንዱን ከኔዘርላንድ አንዱን ከደቡብ አፍሪካ ሁለት ሾርት ኮርስ ትሬኒንግ 3 ወር ወስጃለሁኝ። ስለዚህ ትንሽ የተወሰነ እንትኑ አለኝ ብዬ አስባለሁኝና እሱ ነው ያለኝ ኤክስፒሪየንስ። አሁን ደግሞ ቆንጆ ነገሮችን አንተም ቪዲዮ ያየው ነበር አሁን ራሱና በጣም ረጅም አንድ የሆነ 2 ሰዓት ኮርስ ምንድነው ይሄ ቴክ ማድረግ እና አይ ቲንክ ስንት ሰዓት መሰለ 2 ሰዓት 3 ደቂቃ ቪዲዮ በጣም ረዘም ያለ ነበር ያየው ነበርና እንደዚህ አይነት ነገር ደግሞ መኖሩ በጣም ደስ ይላል። ቆንጆ አይ ቲንክ ኤክስፒሪየንስ እናገኛለን ብዬ አስባለሁኝ።
በጣም ጥሩ። ሶ ሜቢ ዲስከስ እናደርጋለን ስለዚህ ትሬኒንግ ኦብጀክቲቭም ላይክ ሜቶዶሎጂካሊ ምን አይነት እውቀት እንደምታገኙ ቴክኒካሊ ምን አይነት ቤኔፊት እንደምታገኙ ከዚህ ትሬኒንግ ያው ላይክ ጊዜ ለመቆጠብ እዚያው ዲስከስ አላደርገውም ግን እዚህ መምጣታችሁ እናንተ እውነት ነው ቤኔፊት ታገኛላችሁ ጥቅም የምታገኙበት ሁኔታ ነው ያለው። ሞር ፎርማሊ ለኦንላይን ለርኒንግ ምን እንደሆነ እንዴት ዲሊቨር መደረግ እንዳለበት ሜቶዶሎጂካሊ ምን አይነት አስፔክት መከተል እንዳለብን ምን አይነት ቴክኖሎጂዎችን መጠቀም እንዳለብን ምን አይነት ስትራቴጂዎችን መጠቀም እንዳለብን የሚያስረዳ ትሬኒንግ ነው። ሶ ጆይን ስላደረጋችሁ እናመሰግናለን። ወደሚቀጥለው ሲሄድ ዳግም ተፈሪ ዳግም
ኦንላይን ላይ አሁን የገባ
ሚውትድ ሆኖ ነው ያለው። ምናልባት ማይኩን ኦን አድርግ። ሚውትድ ሆኖ
ሜቢ ዳግም እያወራ ከሆነ ሚውትድ ነው ያለው።
አጥፍቻለሁ ሚውቱን። አሁን አይሰማም?
ይሰማል። አሁን ይሰማል።
ይሰማል አይደል? እሺ እኔ ዶክተር ዳግም ተፈሪ ይባላለሁ። from College of Medicine in the Health Science ነው የመጣሁት። ፐርሰናሊ እኔም አሮና በዚህ አይነት የኦንላይን ለርኒንግ ኤክስፒሪየንስ የለኝም። ኮርስ አድሚኒስተር አድርጌም አላውቅም። ስፔላስ ኮርስ ወስጄበት አላውቅም። እና from ከዚህ ትሬኒንግ ያው በጣም የተሻሉ ስኪሎችን የኦንላይን ለርኒንግ ቤኔፊቶችን አገኛለሁ እያስባለሁ። ለዛም ነው ኢንሮል ያደረኩት። አመሰግናለሁ።
በጣም ጥሩ በጣም ጥሩ። ሶ ወደሚቀጥለው እንሂድ። ዳንኤል ተክሌ። ያ
አመሰግናለሁ። ዳንኤል ተክሌ ይባላለሁ ከማኔጅመንት ትምህርት ክፍል ነው። አሁን ፒኤችዲን እየተከታተልኩ ነው። ኦንላይን ለርኒንግ ከዚህ በፊት ያው እነ ዶክተር አለማየሁም ብለዋል በቲምስ በጉግል ሚት እንደዚሁ እየሞከርን ነበረ። ያው እኔም አንዳንድ ኮርሶች ላይ እጠቀም ነበረ። ጉግል ክላስሩምም ተጠቅሜያለሁ። ሞር ፎርማሊ አሁን በሚሰጠው ልክ ፔዳጎጂካል ሜቶዶሎጂካል ስቱደንት ኢንተራክሽንን ታሳቢ ባደረገ ባይሆንም በተወሰነ ደረጃ ኢንተግሬት ለማድረግ ሞክር ነበር። ትንሽ ኤክስፒሪየንሱ አለኝ። ጉግል ማይክሮሶፍት ቲምስ ላይም አንድ ጊዜ ዴሊቨር አድርገናል። ኮቪድ ጊዜ አድርጌያለሁ። አሁንም አልፎ እጠቀማለሁ። ጉግል ሚትም በተለይ እጠቀማለሁ። እዚህ ላይ ያገኘሁት በጣም ፓድሌት በጣም ኢንተራክቲቭ የሆነ ኤክስፒሪየንስ ነው። ከዛም ያለፈ ሞር ኢንጌጅድ የሆነ ዴሊቨሪ ሜተድ ተመረበታለሁ እዚህ ላይ። ይሄ ነው ያለኝ። አመሰግናለሁ።
በጣም ጥሩ እናመሰግናለን። እንዳልካቸው ሜቢ እያወራ ከሆነ እንዳልካቸው አይ ቲንክ ሚውትር ነው ያለው። ሶ ሚውት ማድረግ ይኖርብሃል መጀመሪያ እንዳልካቸው። ሜቢ ላይክ ካይንድ ኦፍ ላይክ ማይክ ችግር ካለብህ እንዳልካቸው በውስጥም ልጽፍልን ትችላለህ፣ በሜሴጅ ልትልክልን ትችላለህ። ኤክስፒሪየንስህን ላይክ ሰልፍ ኢንትሮዳክሽን፣ ስምህን፣ ዲፓርትመንትህን፣ አሁን ያለበትን ኮሆርት እና ሜቢ ለርኒንግ ላይክ ኦንላይን ለርኒንግ እና ቲቺንግ ኤክስፒሪየንስህን ልትነግረን ትችላለህ። መዓዛ ሜቢ እያወራሽ ከሆነ ሚውትር ነው ያለሽው። መዓዛ ያው ሜቢ አንቺም የማይክሮ እንትን ችግር ካለብሽ ሜቢ የማይክ ችግር ካለብሽ ኮምፒውተር ምናምን እየተጠቀምሽ ከሆነ በውስጥ ልጽፊልን ትችላለሽ፣ በሜሴጅ ልትልኪልን ትችላለሽ። ላይክ ሰልፍ ኢንትሮዳክሽን ባጭሩ ልትልኪልን ትችላለሽ። ወደሚቀጥለው ልሂድ። ምንቴ ማን ነው የሚለው እዚህ? ምንቴ ምንቴንም እንደዛ እንለዋለን። ሴና
አመሰግናለሁ። ስሜ ዜና ተሳፋለሁ ከአግሪካልቸር ኮሌጅ ካምፓስ ስታፍ ነው። ለእኔ አዲስ ነው። ኦንላይን ኮርስ ወስጄበት አላውቅም። እዛው ተጠቅሜም አላውቅም። አዲስ ገና መጀመር ነው።
በጣም ጥሩ። ሰለሞን
እሺ፣ አመሰግናለሁ። ሰለሞን ደምሴ ይባላለሁ። ከሕክምናና ጤና ሳይንስ ኮሌጅ ነው። አሁን ማስተር ክላስ ኮርት ኤፍ ላይ ነኝ ያለሁት። ኦንላይን ለርኒንግ ትሬኒንጉ ከዚህ በፊት አልነበረኝም፣ ያው የመጀመሪያ ነው። ስለዚህ ይሄ ነው ያለው።
በጣም ጥሩ። ዘብሽ ወርቅ ነው። ዘብሽ ወርቅ።
ኦኬ፣ አመሰግናለሁ። ይሰማል?
ያ ይሰማል።
ኦኬ፣ ዘብሽ ወርቅ ነው የሚባለው። ከአካውንቲንግ እና ፋይናንስ ዲፓርትመንት ኦንላይን ትሬኒንግ አልነበረኝም። ያው ብዙ ነገር አገኛለሁ ብዬ ተስፋ አደርጋለሁ። አመሰግናለሁ።
በጣም እናመሰግናለን። ያ እዚህ በመምጣታችሁ ያ እንዳላችሁት ብዙ ነገር ታገኛላችሁ። ቴክኒካል አስፔክቱን፣ ሜቶዶሎጂካል አስፔክቱን ዲቴል ስለምናይ ብዙ አዲስ እውቀቶች፣ አዲስ አሰራሮች፣ አዲስ ስትራቴጂዎችን ትለምዳላችሁ ወይም ታውቃላችሁ ብዬ አስባለሁ። ጀስት ይሄኛው ሰልፍ ኢንትሮዳክሽን የመጀመሪያው አጀንዳ ነው። ሁለተኛው አጀንዳ የሚሆነው ላይክ ስለነዛ ኮንተንት ቤዚክ ኢንፎርሜሽኖችን ስለነዛ ነገር ፕሬዘንት አደርግላችኋለሁ። ሶ ስክሪኔን ሼር ላድርጋችሁ። ያ አይ ቲንክ ስክሪኑ ይታያችኋል ብዬ አስባለሁ። ኮምፒውተሩ ስክሪኔ ይታያችኋል?
ይታያል።
All right, so now let me start my presentation. As I told you, this training is the title of the training is Foundation for Excellence in Teaching Online. It's about teaching online. So we are going to discuss about teaching online. The basic skill, the basic knowledge that we need to know to teach online. As you see here, these pictures actually represent what teaching online look like maybe we can assume this lady as a teacher, and then these people are students, and so they are attending the class in online format, and we'll see what type of strategy, what type of skill, what type of technology that we can use to make it interactive. We already made one thing that I like to mention is actually your level of understanding or your informations on this training is good. You already are familiar with some of the issues that I'm going to discuss. So as you know some of the strategies, like for example, you mentioned about Padley self-introduction and the others. So I actually appreciate that things. So you are not like new to the thing that I'm going to talk. You have idea of that. So in my presentation, of course, I'm going to talk about the following things: basic information, objective, computer requirement, content of the training, grading principle, assignment submission platform, communication, general tips, important link, important button in the pages, and explanation for the first week module. So I'm going to talk about these things as short as possible. So let's start from these things. ISHE initiative. I think you know what ISHE is. ISHE is actually an abbreviation for e-learning for strengthening higher education. We know that we have more than 50 public university at national level. Of course, still, higher education is not that much accessible to the majority of Ethiopians, because even if we have many universities, even if the number of university we have still 50 or more than 50, still, higher education is not that much accessible for the majority of our people. And then now Ministry of Education actually designed this initiative to promote higher education, especially to enhance the relevancy, the quality, and the access of higher education across the country by using technology, by using e-learning, or by using, by getting a support from these things, from e-learnings. So of course, this initiative has 5 major pillars, and out of that 5 major pillar, one of that pillar is it has the objective to enhance the professional capacity of university community, especially university instructor and university students. For university instructors, this initiative aim to build their skill to design as well as to deliver online courses. And for university students, this initiative aim to build the skill of university students to engage or to participate in online classes. Therefore, we have a master class, Foundation for Excellence in Teaching Online for university teacher, and then they are going to expand what online teaching and learning look like from the student perspective, and also they will learn how to design and how to develop online course content from this training. On the other hand, we have also a training for the student, and that training is called actually Student Success Youth course. And the objective of that Student Success Youth course, or that training for the student, is to help them to have some skill, some basic knowledge and the skill to engage or to participate or to take classes or to attend classes in the online modalities. So this ISHE initiative has different, as I told you, 5 major pillars, and one is promoting capacity of university community, and the other one is building multimedia center or some infrastructure to deliver these online courses. So now our focus is on these things, on Foundation for Excellence in Teaching Online. This one is one of the intervention under the ISHE project. or under this ISHI initiative. So now let's talk a little bit about Foundation for Excellence in Teaching Online Training. This training is a 2-week fully online workshop and is designed to facilitate knowledge sharing of strategy for designing and teaching online courses. Here it is actually this training will stay, it has a duration of 2 weeks, so that we need to complete this training by this time, within this time, with these 2 weeks. And the other one is, it is fully online workshop. When we say fully online workshop, there is no that much intervention from the facilitator. Now, even this one is a kind of plus, like we don't have that much, pedagogically, when we design this training, actually this training is designed by Arizona State University. When they design this training, there is, they assume that there is no that much intervention from the facilitator or from the teacher, because this training is for the teacher, right? And the designer of this training, this content, actually believe that the instructor have some basic knowledge already, and therefore there's no that much intervention. There is no that much like lecturing from the facilitator of the training. It is fully online workshop, and the instructor need to log in into the system and read and do assignment and learn by themselves, because they have already basic information. And the assumptions, the initial assumption when this course designed is they have, they assume that the instructor has already basic information. Therefore, it's a kind of little information and a little intervention from using this material, and so that it's a kind of refreshing them and help them to know some basic foundation skill or basic skill to design as well as to deliver courses online. Of course, the main objective of this training is to facilitate knowledge sharing of the strategy for designing and teaching online courses. Therefore, we need to learn these things, the strategy for designing and teaching online. That is very important. This is a skill that we lack at this time. So far, we don't have any university in Ethiopia that deliver courses online. There is no courses. There is no course level, no program. Program is too much. There is no course that actually delivered in online platform so far. Therefore, we lack these things. We need to have that skill, that knowledge of designing and teaching online course. And this intervention actually help us to get that knowledge. And it will be delivered in OpenEDX learning management system, and the participant will complete activity as a student using the technology and the pedagogy designed to enhance online learning. Now, we have actually this training designed in OpenEDX learning management system. Therefore, that thing is new for us, OpenEDX learning management system. Maybe during the COVID times, we had experience of delivering courses online by using Zoom, by using Microsoft, those things, right? Those communication platforms that we have. But that thing actually, according to online course delivery, that thing actually did not meet the criteria for online course delivery. When we say online course delivery, we need to design the course content in learning management system. Therefore, we need to have a learning management system from the beginning. That must be there. From the beginning, we need to have a learning management. Unless we have a learning management system, we can't say that actually we deliver courses online. That is just we communicate. That is virtual meeting, online meeting, and sometimes we share them some PDF file, and then that is also another communication platform. So we make a communication online. It's not about delivering courses online. So, to say we are delivering courses online, first of all, we need to design the course in learning management system. We have different learning management system, like OpenEDX is one. We have also Blackboards, modules, and Canva. There are different learning management systems that commonly we use. But according to the agreement from the Ministry of Education, actually Ministry of Education make a contract with the founder of this learning management system, OpenEDX learning management system. So we are going to use OpenEDX learning management system to build online courses. Therefore, that is like having learning management system. Designing a course content in learning management system is very basic things, and therefore this training also help you to get familiar with this learning management system. In addition to that, not only that system, that learning management system, but also you will get a technology, or you will learn some technologies and some pedagogy that help us to deliver courses online in online platforms or in online modalities. Therefore, you will get a lot of benefit, a lot of advantage because of attending this training. And another very important thing is time requirement. Of course, the workshop activity require a minimum of 8 hours per week, but may take more time depending on the comfort level with the language, previous capability with the technologies, and the exploration of various links and resources. The minimum time that you need to assign to complete this training per week is 8 hours per week. Therefore, you need to assign like 8 hours per week. If you take 2 per day, that means like 1 hour per day. But of course, like you can complete, you don't need to wait like for 2 weeks, even if the training is for 2 weeks. Like almost like many of you have completed already this training, by the way. It's very amazing. I saw it yesterday, and it's like I just get surprised because of your progress, your performance. That's why I said you are familiar with the thing that I am going to talk already. You get a lot of information. That is something that I really appreciate. We have also a certificate of completion, which is internationally recognized certificate of completion, but you need to score more than 80 or 80. This is a certificate of completion we have. This certificate of completion will be issued by Arizona State University, and this certificate is recognized by the Ministry of Education, and it's also internationally accepted. They can cross-check whether that is true or not by just scanning this QR code. And therefore, if you complete this training, you will have the right even to deliver courses and training online, not only domestically, but also internationally. You can, because these things certify you to deliver courses and to give trainings, courses, programs, not only for the domestic citizen, but also for the international communities, so that it is a kind of a key for you to influence at the global level. Major learning objective of this training: expands and interpret online learning from the student perspective. This is course level objective 1. And the course level objective 2 is design alignment based and standard driven content for online course instruction. Now we are going to expand what online learning look like from the shoes of student, from the angle of the student. Now you are going to expand these things as a student. You are not a teacher now in this training. Only for this training, you are acting as a student. Therefore, you are going to expand what online learning look like, the experience and those things from the student perspective. Not only that, you will also develop the skill that help you to design alignment-based, standard-driven content for online course instruction. So these are the 2 learning objectives of this training. Therefore, at the end of this training, you need to ask yourself whether you answered or you get answer for these 2 learning outcome or not. You need to ask yourself, you need to evaluate yourself whether you get familiar with these 2 learning objectives or not. And the other one is, like, for example, the other content of this training: computer requirement. Of course, you need to have a computer. Sometimes if you have a smartphone also, that's fine. And you need to have also web browser, like for example, Chrome, Microsoft, and Mozilla. But if you are like Mozilla is not good internet browser for this training, maybe you may have, or you may encounter some kind of challenge, some kind of problem if you are using Mozilla. Sometimes it gets fail. Therefore, I recommend you to use Chrome and Microsoft Edge. Chrome and Microsoft Edge are the best internet browser for this training. Content of the training: Actually, the training has 6 modules. Module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in number, including module 0. I think you are familiar with the majority of the trainees in this time. They get familiar with this thing already. And, in module 0, start coursework. So in that module, there are some basic information that you need to share, like Padlet Surf introduction. There are some privacy agreement. There are some academic integrity agreement, and those things, some introduction content for that training. Module 1, we are going to see online student success. Here you will learn how you can support for the success of your online students, what you need to do. You need to give some lecture, you need to follow them, and that is basic thing that you need to know in order to help online student success. Background information, those things. In module 2, course content and the course quality, especially course quality. Like once we design online course content, then we need to know how we can check whether the content that we develop for online class actually meets the standard or not. There is what we call it a quality matter, and I think many of you get familiar with these things as well. A quality matter is one of the strategies that we use to check whether the online course content that we develop actually meets the basic standard or not. And in module 3, we are going to talk about effective student interaction. It is about how we can promote student-to-student interaction. That's also another very basic thing. In module 4, we will talk about course design and content development in practice. In practice, we are going to practice how we can, design and develop online courses content. And in module 5, we are going to see instructor presence and action plan. Of course, when we think about online courses, like, the students are not in the class, and an instructor is also not in the class. And therefore, we end up with some kind of problem whether there is an instructor or not, instructor presence, because physically, an instructor is not there. But we need to create some kind of feeling, some kind of emotion among our students as we are there. Right? That's what we call it, an instructor present. There are a lot of technologies, there are a lot of mechanisms that we can use to create that feeling among our students as we are nearby them and ready for help them, right? As we are around them. And if they have some kind of problem, they can contact us, they can talk to us. Now let's talk about grading. As I told you, you need to score 80 or more than 80 in order to get certificate. And there are 10 quizzes, 10 assessment, graded continuous assessment that you are going to meet in this training. There are 10 in number. They are very simple for that matter. It's not a big deal for them, for the majority of us doing these assignments, graded continuous assessments. 5 of them are a kind of quiz, and 5 of them are a kind of open response assessment. If they are open response assessment, you are going to write some things, and then you are going to submit that in the text form, and then the facilitator of this training will grade for you if it is open response assessment. And if it is a kind of quiz, you don't need to submit it. It is a kind of multiple type of question or true-false type of question, and then you get your grade, you get your result automatically when you submit your result. So that for quiz, you get automatic response and automatic grade, but for open response assessment, you need to wait a little bit until the facilitator of your training, your course, get grade for that specific assignment. Submitting assignment, the other very basic information, submitting assignment, you need to submit assignment only through the system, not by email. I think at this time you get familiar with all things that I'm talking. Not through email, not through Telegram, only through the system. See, deadlines, syllabus queues. The deadline for syllabus queues is March 21. I think you know these things. The deadline for module 0 to module 2, that is first week module, is March 26. The deadline for second week modules, that is module 3, 4, and 5, is April 2. Therefore, you need to complete these things or this assignment by this time. But as I told you, it is a kind of 2 week from March 19 to today to April 2, it is 2 weeks, it is 14 days. But if you have a time, if your time allow, if your schedule allow, and if thing is very fine with you, you don't need to wait for 14 days. You can complete it just in 2 days or 1 day. It depends on your like speed and things like that. You can do it. You don't need to even wait for the end time because like the last minute, because you don't know what come that last minute. Maybe you get busy, maybe like you get assignment on another activity. Therefore, I recommend you not to wait for the last minute. If you can, complete it starting from today, just within 2 days. Of course, even if module 3, module 4, and module 5 are second week modules, you can access the content of that modules, but just today. You know, they are not blocked. You can access it, and you can do your assignment over there, and you can submit it just in, you know, within this first week. Even you don't need to wait 2-3 days, just within 1 or 2 days, you can complete it. That is your choice, your schedule matter here. And the communication tools, of course, you know, the communication tool that we commonly use, we have different communication tools. One is community forum. Community forum is a place where you can share your ideas, your views, whatever it is, in that OpenEdX learning management system. You get access to the community forum when you log in into your trainings. So the community forum is one of the features that we get from OpenEdX learning management system. I will show that things in that system. The other one is email. We have also email. This is my email. You can use it. Live online session, as I told you, today is March 19. The next week is March 26. Therefore, we will have also another live Google meeting on March 26. Of course, on March 26, the next week, we'll talk about challenge from week 1, progress report, overview of week 2 modules, notice about the due date and the technical problem and the next step. Once you complete masterclass training, this training, what is next? Many students or many trainees or many instructors actually ask this question. Therefore, I will tell you, I will inform you what you need to do next after you complete masterclass. I will talk about that things next week. Common Telegram group. We have a common Telegram group as well. And therefore, you can, like, I think almost all of you are a member of this common Telegram group. That is Group C. That common Telegram, of course, at university level, we have a common Telegram group for this cohort, for this March cohort at the university level. And at my group, at Group C, because I'm a facilitator for Group C, we have also a Telegram group. This is my second time when I facilitate masterclass training at Arba Minch University. Therefore, I have one group for both like groups that I facilitate at Arba Minch University. Therefore, you may, like, if you ask a question, maybe another student or the first group student may respond to you. Therefore, that's also another option. But the point is, we have a Telegram group at university level. I think you are a member for that Telegram group. We have also a Telegram group for cohort C groups. I hope you are a member of that Telegram group. If you are not, please contact me and then I will share you the link. Of course, you can use also my phone. You can call me. I am available 24 hours. More probably, you can get answer if you call me between this time, 8 a.m. in the morning to 8 p.m. in the evening. You can call me anytime you want in between this time, and then you can get answer, help from me. If you call me, really, believe me, you will get very good support. That means if you have any type of problem, don't like hold that problem. Just share your problem with us, and then I will help you a lot. And the other is general tips to quickly finish this training. First, before you attempt to answer each question, make sure to read the instruction carefully. As I told you, most of the assignments are not that much a big deal because we have experience already on these concepts. Even if you are like highly experienced in this area, what I notice from your progress, from your presentation, from your self-introduction is that you have really good knowledge, you have really good experience in the areas, and therefore, like, it's not a big deal for you. But you need to read the instruction. Some of the instruction are so tricky, therefore read the instruction. If not clear, you can call to me and get some clarification on that. Check the course daily, like don't wait for the last minute, otherwise you end up with some kind of challenges. Read and respond to the workshop email message as needed. Sometimes if I ask you something on Telegram, please respond for that. Read, make active, like actively follow what's going on Telegram, what's going on in your email. That's also very important. Monitor, track, and follow the assignment due dates. Yeah, the assignments are not that much because we have experience. Like many of us have teaching experience for the minimum is 5 years, I hope. I have more than 10 years of teaching experience at higher education institution, more than 10 years. I think at Arbamat University also, we don't have that much, like, and instructor that has very few years of experience. More probably I hope, or I guess maybe the minimum one is like 5 or more than 5 years. And therefore we know that pedagogy from face-to-face classes. And therefore they are not that much hard for us. The concept, they are not a new concept. So what is the problem is due date is a problem. You need to, like, we can't extend the deadline. March April 2 is over. If you can't complete by April 2, then you need to repeat this training other time. And the other one is communicate regularly with your instructor and colleagues. We have a common Telegram group. If you have any kind of challenge, don't try again and again and things like that. Don't have any problem with that. Just share your problem. Sometimes you can text us, sometimes you can record your voice record. Sometimes whatever approach you can use, make a screenshot and share that screenshot on Telegram, and then we can help you. Not only me that expected to help you, all of you guys, you need to help each other. That is very important. And also you are a member. Actually, we join even the last group or first round groups, and those people are also, they have some experience already. Therefore, they are there to help us. Therefore, if you have any challenges, don't hold your challenge. Share with us. The 6th tip is engage in class discussion, ask a question, contribute to online activity to enhance your understanding of subject matter. Here the point is not about completing this training and getting certificate. That's not our agenda. That's not our goal. Our goal is to equip you or to help you to learn, the skill and the knowledge that help you to design alignment-driven, standard-based online course content. Tomorrow, there is something that we expect from you. You need to build online course content for your course and deliver that things. You need to expose your students to the technology, right? We expect that you expose your student to a new technology, to the new innovations. They need to move with whom? With the technology, right? With time. So we need to create such type of generation, and therefore there is assignment that we expect from you, and that's why you need to engage yourself in discussion, ask a question, contribute to the online communities. So your idea is very important. Your feedback is very important. Your engagement is very important. We know the principle of social constructivism, that we learn a new knowledge by talking to each other. Like, communication is very important. We have a link here, like if you want to get some video record, even this video, by the way, is I'm on record. So is like, I will share you when, like, yeah, I got a call from president, by the way. So maybe like, let's respond for him. Please, apology. ኦኬ ተመልሼ መጥቻለሁ። ይሰማችኋል አይደል?
ይሰማል?
ኦኬ በጣም
አዎ
ይቅርታ።
ይሰማናል።
ኦልራይት አስቸኳይ ስልክ ስለሆነ ነበር የመለስኩት። ሶ ሌትስ ኮንቲኒው you see there are some links if you want some video record there are some links you can use these links and now let's share with you how you start this training in case you are already start this training, but in case still if you have some kind of challenge to start this training, let me share you the step that you need to follow to start this training. So the first task you need to do is, of course, you need to get the training links. You need to get training link. There are two ways that you can get training link. One way is just you can type here Ishi portal, Arba Minch University, like this. Then Ishi portal Arba Minch University or Arba Minch University Ishi portal. If you type this thing, then you get it here. It's already here, so that you can you don't need to get the link and think commonly. I share a link over here and then I pinned it here. Of course, this one is, I think, the easiest one, like Arba Minch University Ishi portal. If you say like this, it will take you to the Arba Minch University micro link. And therefore, like this one is Arba Minch University micro link. It is already here. You can use this link if you want. You can copy it, save it somewhere, and then you need to start by that. In order to access the training content, you need to pass through that process. Therefore, this one, I think I find this one very easy or very smart. Therefore, let's say Arba Minch University Ishi portal. So that's, the first step is you need to type this thing, Arba Minch University Ishi portal, like this. Yeah, I think sometimes connection is not good, so that you need to click on this one. This is Arba Minch University Issue portal, so you need to click on this one. Yeah, this time around the connection yesterday and today the connection is not as good as usual. And then once you click on this thing, this is Arba Minch University micro link. Each university has their own micro link. And this one is Arba Minch University's micro link. And the second step is you need to click in case if you come to this page for the first time. Almost like 32 of you have already passed these steps because I saw it on the system. But you can, if it is always, you can use a register button. But if you come to this page for the first time, you need to use register. But if you come to once you register, once you activate your registration, then you can use a login button. But if you use this register button anytime, that is also fine. But the step is a little bit long, so let's click on register. Then you need to agree with these terms of reference. And then you need to, once you tick this thing, you need to click start. Then here, in case if you are new, if you have some kind of difficulties, what you need to write here is your institutional email, your university email, the email that you get from the ICT center from your university. That's what we call it commonly an institutional email. So that it's not personal email, it's not Yahoo or things like that. It is an institutional email. Let me write my institutional email here. So that this is my institutional email. Then log in. Then you click on sign in. Maybe it will ask you a password. Maybe this one is my computer, my laptop, and my laptop actually remember my password already. Therefore, it didn't ask me that thing. That's also fine. But you need to remember that you need to write your password. I think you get your password from your ICT center. Then another very important thing is that maybe you see here, this is January 2025D. This is January cohorts. This one is March cohort. And this cohort, this one is not active. January 2025 cohort is not active at this time. Therefore, if you click on this one, if you go to, for example, you can click on student. Now, even you need to know here, there are two buttons at the top. One is a student, the other is an instructor, right? Now you are actually accessing this training not as an instructor, rather as a student. Maybe if you click on the instructor button, then there is no course shells in your course folder or in your dashboards. Make sure that you are clicking on student button, so that you need to click on student button. And that from that student button, you see here, here is March 2025 court C. Maybe if you are in court B, it say court B. If you are in court F, it say court F. Therefore, that is there is a little difference among those cohorts. And then now to start the course, you need to click on go to the course. Go to the course. Make sure that is a very important point here, is that make sure that you are actually accessing this cohort, not this one or not other one. Maybe in your dashboard, you may get different course folder. Maybe if you start these things previously and if you didn't complete it, that course shell, that course folder is already there. But if you go inside it, some of the deadline is already expired, or some of the assignment is already expired, or the deadline is already done and due. Therefore, you cannot submit assignment. Already the deadline is already passed. You see? Therefore, make sure that you are accessing a training content in this course folder, That is very important. Therefore, you can click on go to the course. The next step is click on go to the course. So this is like, the first page of your training. As you see on the top, there are some buttons. It says the course, progress, dates, discussion, course syllabus, and instructor. Of course, this thing is not on your dashboard because this is for only instructors. So here is from the course, like you can get the course outline for your training, and so that you can use this course outline in order to see the content of these things. For example, under trainers information, you can get this information. Under welcome and start here for important course information, you can get the type of information like meet your facilitator, syllabus, community forum discussion, homepage, and things like that. So that from the course you can get the course outline. And the other one is from progress. If you click on progress button, you can get your progress. As I told you, in order to get a certificate, you need to score 80 or more than 80. Therefore, you can see your progress, your grade, by clicking on progress. And if you click on progress, you see, for example, my grade so far is 0 because I am just a facilitator. I don't need to do assignments or submit assignment, and therefore this is 0. And the passing point is 80. And you need to make sure that you are moving in good progress. You can check your progress, whether you can achieve it or not, by just clicking on progress. And the other very important thing is course completion progress. By the way, the system itself actually track you, whether you actually watch some video, whether you engage in the community discussion, whether you open some PDF file, and things like that. Therefore, under these things actually inform you, how much course content that you have completed, how much percent of the course content that you have completed. Of course, to get your certificate, the only thing that matter is your grade. This thing is not a big deal. Whether you get 40, whether you get 80, whether you get 90, it doesn't matter. It will not affect your certification, but even the facilitator can check whether you actually see or engage in this training intensively or not. We can see that thing, but it doesn't matter, or your completion status. If you score more than 80, that is done. You are certified. You have a certificate and you are certified for this training. But to get more knowledge, to highly engage in learning and the teaching process in this training, you need to participate in discussion. You need to watch. Of course, it depends on what? It depends on your time. Sometimes if you are busy, like you can jump some of the content depending on your interest. Some, like I will tell you the tip to manage your time, and then I will talk over there about that things. And the other one is the discussion. As I told you, engaging in discussion is very important because, like, we know these things like student-centered learning and a teaching approach. Commonly, if you are a teacher, this thing is not a new concept for many teachers, right? Student-centered. Always, even at elementary school, we know about these things, student-centered. So that all instructor from high school, from elementary school to university, follow this principle of student-centered. What does it mean? That means the student need to engage, not the teachers that talk a lot. Rather, the student needs to engage, needs to participate, needs to come up with ideas and something, share their experience. Therefore, you need to intensively engage in discussion. As you see here, so far even, you see, that's why I say your level of understanding of this training is amazing. You see here, there are 5% that engage in this one. There are 3% that engage in this one. There are 3% that already respond in this one. There are 2% that already respond in this one. Let me see who they are. For example, from this one, who these people are. You see here, like Gzacho, John, Abraham, it's Sefer or things like that, Andreas. You see, these people actually, thank you very much. I would like to extend my appreciation for them. Andreas, Dr. Andreas. Here is Dr. Darajez Agaye. Here is Dr. There is some response. This is Dr. Daraja. And here is Abraham. Thank you very much. Jones. Thank you very much. Your engagement, like I appreciate that thing. Just today is the start date of the training, but you actually progress in advance. And so the discussion is a place where you engage in learning in the teaching process. I hope you understand how you start and how you use or you can use those buttons. So now let's talk. This is a screenshot of that thing. We have seen it in practice. Therefore, let me jump over it. And the other thing is, like the facilitator of this training, I'm the one who facilitates this training for cohort C. Above us, of course, at Arba Minch University, there are 6 facilitators, including me. There are 6 facilitators, and actually, we have also supervising facilitator. Professor Kim from Arizona State University. She is our supervising. Actually, we can do many tasks by ourselves, but if we have any kind of challenge, we can also communicate with her. And above us, or our supervisor, or our supervising facilitator is Professor Kim, and therefore these are the facilitator for this training. This is all brief introduction of this course or this training, the basic information for this training. Now, let me introduce you the first 3 modules of the first week. Not deeply, but like as much as I can. Just brief overview. So, learning objective of this training, experience and interpret online learning from the student perspective. Second learning objective, when we say carbon dioxide, I think like many of you are from this natural science aspect, like you chemistry and those things, or engineering department. I think this one is, carbon dioxide, right? It looks like carbon dioxide. And actually that means it is course objective 2. Course objective 2, the second course objective is design, alignment based and standard driven content for online course instruction. So these are the 2 learning objectives of this training. Now, let's continue. Community forum. Let's talk a little bit about what community forum is. Community forum is a community building strategy in which all participants contribute questions and answer about the workshop and its topic and add helpful resource for others. Community forum is one of the strategies that we use when we deliver online courses to build online community. It is a community building strategies. You see these things, this picture, they are online community. You see, they are talking through online communication platform, mainly under the community forum. Community forum. It is the community forum by itself is a platform that help us to have a communication, discussion. It has benefit for students as well as for instructors. That is very easy. Time management tip. Now, maybe many of you are very busy. You have a classes. You have students that you get like that you advise and those things. Time is very important for you. There is a tip for you. One, if an item or article in this training say read or watch, it is important. Therefore, you need to read and watch that material. If it says this is very important material, if there is some hint that say you need to watch it, you need to read it, then you don't have any other option. Watch or read is very mandatory. If an item say optionally browse, it is an optional item and only needs to be viewed if you have the specific interest. Sometimes some of the content says, for more understanding, you can go to this. For more understanding, you can watch these videos. For more understanding, you can refer this textbook. It say like that. If it is for more understanding, it's a kind of optional. Therefore, you don't need to worry about that because it's optional. If you have time, you can go for that. But if like your schedule not allow, then you can jump it. That is tip. If something is credit bearing, it will say graded in the outline. Therefore, there are two assignment types. There are two types of assignments or assessments. One is graded, the other is ungraded. Therefore, as a teacher, of course, you need to engage in both of them. But now the time is matter. Now you can give more attention, more focus, more time for graded assignment, but less time, less attention for ungraded assignment. This is a kind of tip, but it is not pedagogically, that's not appropriate to advise the student in these ways. But like, given that you are busy, like given that you have a lot of assignments, and also we see experience from our experience, we notice that instructors like can't complete this training because of time limit, and now we want to give them this advice to manage their time effectively. I think you are familiar with syllabus cues at this time. If you are not, just you need to download a syllabus from here. I think many of you get that syllabus already. Read that syllabus and do a syllabus cues. March 21 is the deadline for that, Friday. Another one is ungraded Google Form problem anticipated. We have one ungraded assignment in module 0, and it is about problem anticipated. It's a kind of brainstorming. What are some of the challenge of online learning? So if you start online class, what type of challenge you expect that you encounter? So share some of the struggle you anticipate as you consider adding more digital learning into your classroom or into your course, or as you consider teaching online courses. You see? Share us some of the challenges. Google Form problem anticipated. So the way you answer it is like this. You click up from here. You have to select a category for the problem. First of all, just what type of problem you expect if you start online class. Maybe some of your problem related to assignment, some of your problem related to slide, some of the problem related to digital literacy, some of the problem related to discussion, some of the problem related to group work, some of the problem related to maybe if you are like a science teacher, like physics teacher, engineering teacher, and those things, even medical doctor teacher. Yeah, that's also another big deal. But still, it is possible to give online classes even for very difficult course like medicine and those things. But knowing the technology, knowing the strategy is very important. Therefore, what type of challenges? Lab-related challenge, research-related challenge, student presentation-related challenge, technology-related. So you need to tell us the category first, then write the problem, the challenge that you expect in detail here, and then submit it. You need to do it twice. You need to give us 2 types of problems that you anticipate if you start online classes. Another one is module 0, Padlet introduction. I think at this time, many of you have completed this one, but in case if you have 2 or 3 persons, let me talk how you do that activity. You know, once you get on that specific page in your training, not on this PowerPoint, not somewhere else, it is inside your training material. Therefore, you need to first go to access the training material, then using next and the previous button to come to these specific pages. That specific page is Padlet introduction. Under Padlet introduction, there are 2 questions. The first one is introduce yourself by doing the following tasks. Use the plus sign here. You see a plus sign here in the lower part of the Padlet to add your name. Click on that thing and this pop-up window will come. And add your name, your nickname or your initial if you prefer, your institution, your field of study, and other things we should know about you. For example, your hobbies, your favorite foods, your online teaching and learning experience. Therefore, when you introduce yourself in Padlet self-introduction, like I am Workina is not enough. You need to add your name, you need to tell us your institution, you need to tell us your department, you need to tell us your field of study, you need to tell us your experience in online learning and teaching, you need to tell us your hobbies, your favorite foods and those things, at least. You can go in detail. Detailed self-introduction is good because it is one of the way we use to know each other, isn't it? Yeah, it's very important. Not only these things, once you have done that one, the next task is you need to welcome 2 other members by commenting on their post. Now the community look like this. This is, of course, the community at Ethiopia Civil Service University. This is self-introduction of myself. My name, then my detail, myself. These are our community. So what you do, you need to comment at least on 2 of them. On your, not on these people, by the way, in your Padlet self-introduction, once you introduce yourself, the next task that you need to do is that you need to welcome, you need to comment on self-introduction of 2 persons. If you see around here, there is an option that helps you to insert or to give a comment. There is a place that says, the box that says comment. Click over there, then you can write and you can enter or you can send that thing, then the comment will be posted. But you need to do. But inside, once you write your comment, before you send it, in the bracket, you need to write your name. For example, like this is Dr. Mokannan, for example, he is one of our staff. And once I write a comment, welcome to masterclass, for example, let's say my comment is welcome to the masterclass. Then before I send my comment, I need to write my name in the bracket, Workina, so that I know, Mokannan will know who give him a comment, and the facilitator also check whether you really give a comment or not. So that you need to write your name after your comment. That is very important. The next task is completion statement, Padlet introduction. There are 2 boxes. In the first box, the instruction is already here. You need to introduce yourself using text, no picture here, so that your self-introduction, in detail, using the same things. Just copy this part, self-introduction of yourself, that you pasted on Padlet self-introduction. Copy that thing, the text part, and paste it here if you want. Another task is, the second question, you need to write the name of the person for whom you give a comment. For example, here, if you give a comment on my name, so that you can write Werkene 1, 2%. If you give a comment for Dr. Mukhannin, for example, this one, then Dr. Werkene and Dr. Mukhannin. So you need to come here, write the name of the person for whom you give a comment. One of the problems that trainees do most of the time is that they write the name of a person that comments them. The name of the person that give a comment on their self-introduction. That is not the point. The point is, write the name of the person for whom you give a comment on. So that you are going to write the name of the person you give a comment on. If you write a comment for this person, tell us that you give a comment for Werkene. If you write a comment for this person, tell us that you give a comment on Dr. Mukhannin, so that Werkene and Mukhannin that you need to write here. Now, course content and the course quality. I think learning objective of this module is already here. And one thing that I would like to share with you is a quality matter. A quality matter. A quality matter is a program that certifies the quality of online and blended course through a faculty-centered peer review process. It is one of the strategies that we use to evaluate whether the online course that we designed actually meet the quality that we require or not. The quality matter is a rubric-based peer review system used to make sure courses are designed at a specific standard. It is a rubric-based. It is a checklist-based peer review. It's not self-review. Your document, your digital content will be reviewed by whom? By peer, by your friends, using the checklist. Already designed checklist is there. Then we are going to evaluate whether your course actually meets the standard, the required standard, based on that checklist. Let's talk a little bit more. This quality matter has 8 general standards. Quality matter has 8 general standards. The first one is course overview and introduction. The second general objective is learning objective. The third general standard is assessment and measurement. The fourth one is instructional material. The next one is course activity and learner interaction, course technology, learner support, and accessibility. This is general standard. In order to make them more qualifiable, in order to measure them more, to make them more specific, we can use these specific review standards. This is general standard, 8 in number. Here is a specific review standard. In order to evaluate course overview and introduction, there are 9 checklists. The maximum grade that each checklist will have is also here. Look, like for course overview introduction, in order to measure whether the course overview and introduction is in good quality or not, there are 8 criteria that we are going to evaluate course overview and introduction. The first one is instruction make clear how to get started and where to find various resource course components. Now, as a reviewer, what you do? Here is the checklist, instructions. Now, you are a reviewer, assume you are a reviewer. Then there is online designed courses. You have access for that online designed course. And using this checklist, you are going to evaluate whether that online designed course content can meet this criteria or not. You see, that is, there is a specific review standard. For learning objective, general standard, there is 5 specific standard. It goes like that. So it is very simple. It's very amazing. It's very simple. Another very important thing is learning objective. Learning objective is a statement that helps you to answer this question. What do I want the student to know and be able to do upon completion of these courses. When we say learning objective, it is an statement that helps us to answer or to know what we want to share with our students, what type of knowledge, what type of skill, what type of know-how, what type of experience that we want to share with our students. And now let's talk how we can create a smart learning objective. Smart. In order to develop a smart learning objective, first we need to know Bloom's taxonomy. This is a table named as a Bloom's taxonomy table. This is a type of knowledge that we want to share with our student. Some of the things that we want to share with our student is a kind of remembering things. We want them to remember about something. Some of the knowledge that we want to share with our student is a kind of understanding. We want them to understand about something. Some of the knowledge that we want our student to know is kind of applying. We want them to apply something. Some of them is analyzing. They need to develop a knowledge to analyze something. They need to develop a knowledge to evaluate something. Some of them is a kind of creating. For example, like they need to create something, right? If the type of the knowledge that we want to share with our student is a kind of creating, at the end, they need to create something which is visible, tangible, and measurable things. They need to create that thing. If it is creating, this is lower order thinking. The type of knowledge is very simple. They need to read, remember, understand. Here is higher order thinking. It is more than remembering and understanding. They need to do or move further, more, think more. They need to think more. That's why we call it higher order thinking. It is a very hard one. This type of knowledge is very hard one. This type of knowledge is very lower order thinking. Now, when we create a learning objective, we need to create a smart learning objective, measurable learning objective. In order to create a measurable learning objective, we need to use action verbs. This verb, for example, if a type of knowledge I want to share with my student is a kind of remembering, I can say like recall about that something. Locate, to locate. Learning objective of this specific chapter is to locate something, to retrieve something, to collect about something. That thing is already obvious. The content that we are teaching. To define about something. If we want them to create something, creating type of knowledge, to construct about something, a house, bridge, whatever it is, to design, whatever it is, to organize, so that if we use, depending on the type of knowledge we plan to share with our student, we need to use these action verbs when we create learning objective. And if we use this action verb, then our learning objective is smart. Otherwise, it is not. Let's see an example. Original version, like for example, understand the American criminal justice system. Understand the American criminal justice system. Now, if you go to this table, understanding, type of knowledge, but there's no action verbs in this box, right? That says understand. From the beginning, it's very hard to measure level of understanding of our student. Understand is not measurable. It is a knowledge category under the Bloom's taxonomy, in this category, but they are not an action verb. Understand is very hard to measure. You can use describe, rather, you can use classify, you can use summarize, you can use report, you can use identify, you can use associate, but you can't use understand. You see, understand is unmeasurable. You cannot measure the level of understanding of your student. Rather, you can say like this: describe the history of American criminal justice system. This one is smart. This one is good. Understand is not measurable. Another example, original version. Describe and create a social media plan for your organization. Now, describe is measurable, right? Describe is already here, describe. The other one is create. Create is also, of course, create is measurable. Describe and create is because if you create something that is visible, that is measurable, it's obvious things. It's not something that go inside the mind. Understand is something which is not visible. Unless we like nowadays technology is coming and the people start like I heard about this thing. I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but like using technologies nowadays, like technology can guess or not guess, even like predict or even not predict, like can know what you are thinking. I heard about this thing. I'm not sure whether it's true or not, but using technology nowadays, you know, people can like they can understand or they can read what you are thinking in your mind. I'm not sure about that true that things, but you know, more or less, we cannot measure the level of understanding of ourselves, right? Something which is not visible, which is not tangible. Rather, you can use using a kind of these words: describe, classify. But create is measurable by itself. Create, we can put create it here. Therefore, now what is the problem with this objective, with this example? Describe and create a social media plan for your course. Now, describe actually need lower order thinking. Create, on the other hand, need higher order thinking. Describe is lower order thinking. Create is higher order thinking. When we connect two action verbs, we need to make sure that it is apple for apple. In this context, this is not apple for apple. It's not balanced. This one is lower order thinking, it need. This one need higher order thinking. Therefore, they are not actually this and they connect two action verbs which need, of course, different level of thinking. And that is one problem. Another problem, in principle, we cannot create a learning objective that is actually connected by these conjunctions, by this type of, like for example, if one student, like if our students actually describe that specific objective very well, but they are not create. So what we are going to say, whether like that specific learning objective meet or not, because they actually describe it very well, but they are not create. Or some instructor, like for example, good at some practice things, but they are not describing. You know, we have also these things in practice, right? Some of, you know, our students, they are really smart in practical things, but if you ask them, they can't respond. They are not that much good at explaining things. We have that type of person. So what is learning now? How we can going to evaluate whether our students actually meet that specific learning objective or not? They can create it, but they can't describe it. So half. So it's very difficult to make a final decision. And in principle, connecting to action verb is not appropriate. We can divide it in these ways. Create a social media plan for your organization. Create a social media plan for your organization. This one is smart. Now, let's see the final content of my presentation. This is one of the assignments that you are going to meet in your at the end of module 2, course content alignment worksheet. There are 4 questions in number. Question number 1 asks you write one measurable learning objective for a lesson or for your module. Make sure it is not a learning objective for some courses. It is a learning objective for the course that you are teaching. If you are teaching, for example, medical things, so that you are going to tell us learning objective for the course that you are teaching, not for this training. We are going to see whether that learning objective is smart or not. That is the first task is write one learning, only one. Most of the time, what the problem is that many trainees make a mistake, like they write 4 or 5 learning objective. This one asks you how many learning objective? Only one learning objective. That is fine. One is enough. Second question, name the Bloom's revised taxonomy level addressed in your objective. Now, what type of knowledge that you are going to share with your student in that learning objective? So that you have 6 options. You can say remember type of knowledge, understanding type of knowledge, applying type of knowledge, analyzing type of knowledge, evaluating type of knowledge, or creating type of knowledge. To select one of these category of knowledge, what matter is the type of the action verb you will use in your action verb, in your learning objective. So you need to tell us name of the Bloom's revised taxonomy level addressed in your objective. Third, identify supporting learning material. Now, in order to support your student to meet that specific learning objective, what type of learning intervention you recommend them? What is recommended from us is that you need to give different learning objective. You need to give us different learning objective. That is very essential. The reason is because some of our students actually prefer practical things. Some of our students prefer reading. Some of our students prefer watching a video. Therefore, you need to give reading material for those who prefer reading. You need to give video for those who prefer watching. You need to give a lecture, simulation, graphics, and things like that. If you give only one material like lecture, textbook, things like this, that is not good. You are going to miss some point. In order to get a full point, you need to share with us, or you need to recommend different learning material. Variety is very important. Lastly, describe or design an assignment to measure achievement of your learning. Now you have a learning objective here. In order to check whether your students actually meet or learn that learning objective or not, you need to design assessments. Now we don't expect that you actually prepare a question. Now you need to tell us what type of question. Is it multiple type of question? Is it a group assignment? Is it a project work? It depends on what? It depends on the type of knowledge that you want to share with your student. If you say create or design some kind of building, for example, for like architecture or like engineering department, if your objective is to design like something, then the type of the assignment that you need to give them, or the type of the assignment that you need to use, is not a multiple type of question. Now, in order to check whether your student can actually design it or not, you need to give them a project work, right? They need to do in group or individually, and they need to bring it something in your office, right? In your class, so that project work is appropriate in that context. If it is a kind of remembering, they need to remember, the process of digestion, for example. What is the process of digestion? I think the digestion has a lot of process, right? Starting from the mouth and then go down, enzymes, those things that we remember. So that if it's about that thing, so it's remembering multiple type of question, true, false type of question, it may be fine in that context. Here is an example, practical example as well. This one is assignment that we expect that you need to respond as. Now let's give you one practical example. Objective, one learning objective for the course I teach: identify the 7 steps of research process. Identify the 7 steps of research process. Research process has 7 steps, and I ask my student, one of the learning objective of that course is I want them to identify the 7 steps of research process. Therefore, what is an action verb here? Identify. To identify what? 7 steps of research process. Now, the second question is Bloom's taxonomy level. What type of knowledge I want to share with them, with my student, using this learning objective? It is an identify. They need to identify. Identify is what it is, an understanding. Identify is here. You see, identify is here. Actually, identify, describe what? Understanding. Therefore, the type of knowledge I want to share with my student is understanding type of knowledge. Therefore, the answer for the second question is understanding. Supporting learning material, I will give them a short instruction video. I will give them infographic. I will give them video tutorial to help them to do these tasks or to understand these tasks. Identify the 7 steps of research process. Then how how I check whether my student actually meets the learning objective or not. I'm going to ask them this question. Maybe you don't need to write the question like that is little bit time taking and confusing, right? So that you can tell us the type of question that you are asking them. Here actually it is a kind of assignment itself. The assignment itself, the question itself is here. Draft an outline for a research paper due in week 7. So they are going to submit some kind of outline. So they are going to write some kind of outline or outline for a research paper that due in week 7. So this is the way that I check whether my student actually do understand or meet this learning objective or not. One last ungraded assignment is there on module 2 at the end of module 2, and that is the mediest point. The mediest point is it is a formative assessment technique used to identify unclear or unanswered question about the instructional concept. Now what you do is that you need to tell us something that is not clear for you. The mediest point, something which is not clear. The mediest point, something which is not clear, something that you didn't understand, something that you confused, something which is not interesting for you. Not only something that you confused, but something which is not unclear or unanswered, or if you can also give some kind of suggestion. If you, for example, like if you want to give some kind of comment on the way we deliver the course or the way that training designed, you can share us on the mediest point discussion places at these places. So this is the end of the first week modules, and thank you very much for joining us today. And now let me give you a chance for you to for question and answer session. If you have any problem, anything that you want to share with us, you can raise that things and we can discuss on that. It's time for you. The floor is yours now. Any unclear things, technical problem, methodological problem, conceptual problem you have, any problem concerning masterclass training, if you cannot access it, whatever challenge you encounter, you can share with us. We will discuss on that. Yeah, if you don't have any question, comment or suggestion, thank you very much for today's session. And as I told you, you need to join us if you are in cohort C. We have a specific Telegram group designed for that cohort. And at university level also, we have a Telegram groups. And I highly recommend you to join that Telegram group as well. Ask a question wherever you want. And we are ready to respond to you, to help you, to support you. Yeah. ስለመጣችሁ በጣም እናመሰግናለን። ጥያቄ ካሌለን እዚህ ጋር መጨረስ እንችላለን።
እሺ እኛም እናመሰግናለን። እግዚአብሔር ይስጥልን።
ኦኬ በጣም ነው የማመሰግነው እኔም።
ቴንክ ዩ በጣም እግዚአብሔር ይስጥልን። እሺ
አብሮ ይስጥልን። መልካም ቀን ይሁንላችሁ። መልካም የስራ ሳምንት። ኔክስት ዊክ 4 ሰዓት ላይ እንገናኛለን። ደግሞ በኔክስት ዊክ ያሉትን አጀንዳዎች አስቀድሜ ያሳውቃቸዋለሁ።
4 ሰዓት ነው ወይስ ከከሰዓት?
ኖ ኔክስት ዊክ 4 ሰዓት ነው።
ታይሙ ፕሮግራሙ ላይ የሰጠኸው ከከሰዓት ነው የሚለው?
ኖ ሜቢ አፕዴት ያስፈልገናል። ሜቢ ቼክ አደርገዋለሁ። ከሰዓት አይ ቲንክ ይመቻችኋል። ከሰዓትም ከፈለጋችሁ ከሰዓት ማድረግ እንችላለን። ብዙውን ጊዜ ያው ጠዋት ነው የማደርገው ነገር። አሳውቃችኋለሁ። ያው ጊዜው እየቀረበ ሲሄድ ኢንፎርሜሽኖችን ሼር አደርጋችኋለሁ።
ታንክ ዩ።
ኦኬ፣ በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። መልካም ቀን ይሁንላችሁ
ለሁላችሁ።